Hello, everybody. I am out and about, and I haven't done this in a while because the last time I did it, I ended up the serpentine belt went on my Mazda Tribute, or as Bottle Caps likes to call it, my minivan. And that's because Bottle Caps is a true royal pain in the ass. But it's a cloudy day in Montreal, and I decided I'm going to try it again just to see how it goes. I'm not downtown right now. I'm more out in the suburb side, but figured it was as good a day as any to try it. I won't be able to answer everybody in the chat because, as you know, I'm driving and that is just not safe. But I hope some people will show up and you guys can chat amongst yourselves. But let's see. Sorry, I got a guy in here. Something, as Montreal, everybody knows, needs to learn how to drive, and they're very good at stopping in the middle of streets. They're very good at not using their signal lights. That's all part of driving in Montreal. I might head down towards downtown. We'll see. I'm going to go up around the side. We got major construction going on right now in the city, comparable like to Boston and the Big Dig. It's a long time coming. My father worked on they call it the Turcotte Interchange, and it was built in it was completed for the 1967 World Fair here. And it was built, as many in the U.S. know, that was the time when all the interstates were going up in those crazy, like 150-foot high connections and roundabouts. So it was built that way. But then, of course, wasn't maintained for years. And yeah, so at least this time they're going to build it a lot. They're building it a lot lower, which is good. So that'll make things a little safer. Because if you're not going to do any repairs anything, well then the least you can do at least is not make it so high so when it falls apart nobody gets killed, or at least less. I remember when I first went to and of course it's an ex-Soviet country, and they're like, oh god, you must find our roads so bad, and I'm like, no my god, you guys' roads are a pleasure compared to Quebec. Because their excuse I always hear is, oh well, it's the weather that causes it. Well, it's funny because as soon as you cross the border into Ontario, or New Brunswick for that fact, into the next neighboring provinces, no more issues, good roads. So I guess they already had started working on their separation year and started actually literally digging away from the rest of the landmass. That's just my opinion. So as you can see, it's a great day here today. Not tons of sun or anything like that, but hey, what can you do? It was really hot here yesterday. There, I'm at stop here so I can look for a second. I see Yankee Outdoor Adventures. Welcome, good to have you here. Steve O, I see. Vov Girl. Logan's Coins and Cards. Excellent. Great to have you here. Like I say, it's nothing spectacular, and I am driving, so I can't really read the chats. So I hope you guys will keep each other entertained. Oh, Dexter came in. North American Trains. Hey, how are you? Good to have you here. I hope you've gotten back to see some of my other train videos and that. Just scroll back before the live streams, or you can catch the playlist with trains or cinematic playlists. I'm trying to help guide people towards those, because now that we've been doing so many live streams, some people haven't even seen the cinematic stuff that we do yet, and those are my babies. So I'm always trying to get other people to get a look at them. This is one of the longest lights in Montreal, and for the life of me, I have no idea why. As many of you know, Montreal and Quebec City are some of the oldest cities in North America. Montreal is a little more modern. Quebec is beautiful, though. Quebec City, if you ever get a chance, get the Plains of Abraham. You can see the actual, like, why it's so strategically placed was because it's in the St. Lawrence Seaway, and it's the narrow inlet. And so far inland on top of that, it was a great place for the French that set up to block the British from coming up through. So it does have a lot of color, and you can still see the cannons are still there, the walls are still there. probably turning around up here. I'm taking the long way in, and I'll see if it doesn't look too bad. I might head in to city for a few minutes because of all the construction, though. I haven't driven down there this weekend, so I'm not sure how the entrances are, because literally things change here on a daily basis. There was one place I went to visit my friend, actually a guy you see in the chat, WJ Auto Works, and when I came back 4 hours later, my exit was gone. So you really got to be on top of things. Thank God Google Maps is a lot better now at doing that. No. It's new, by the way. Like I said, I'm driving, so I can't look at the phone at all. But if you're new here and you like our channel and you subscribe, please leave a message on the video that when you subscribe, so I can go check you out when I get home after. We've been growing again. It's amazing. We just hit 1,500 the other day, and I think we're around 1,540 right now. But like, not as many people are leaving there, and I know they're from good channels, because that's what I'm focusing on now. I don't go to any places that are sub for sub or any of that stuff. I'm truly going into places where it's good followings, you know, like the drone community, the bushcraft community, those type of guys. Those are great channels to be in cahoots with. I really like what they're doing, and they're loyal. It's not just a sub; they actually do come and watch, join the live streams. The beercraft channels are another one like that as well. So, you know, please leave me a comment. I'll definitely go check you out. Just enjoying my McDonald's coffee. Xenia, as some of you already know, she has fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome, and the schedule is quite grueling on us. And plus, we have like 3 children. Or my oldest is 20 from my first marriage, and he lives on his own now, about 10 kilometers from us. But then we have 7 and 11-year-old, and so yeah, her plate is pretty full. So today is her day that we try to give her some quiet time and let her get some extra rest, which is frustrating with chronic fatigue syndrome, especially when you have fibromyalgia, because one's constantly working against the other. Like the doctor told her, she's almost caught in a perfect storm. And she's been off the main meds for a while, because they were going to try at the end injections of ketamine, which everybody knows is quite strong. But now she's been accepted for a new test, so we're just waiting for that to start. So she's just doing the best she can with it. We're usually on, and also to anybody new, except for Sundays, we're on 8 p.m. Eastern every night, except for Sunday. We interview YouTubers just like you, get to know them better. It's a very friendly community. Everybody, after they've been there 2 times or so, becomes a moderator, unless they start pushing sub for sub stuff. And also, too, if they belong to any sub channels, we don't mention it in our channel, because we're the old expression, like a bar, we leave our gang colors at the door. It's there for everybody to enjoy. And we found in the past that becomes too divisive. And we just want everybody to have a great experience. You get to learn. But definitely, people are great there. I really think we got the cream of the crop as far as, I would say, supporters. So everybody becomes a mod, because we're all in an equal playing field. It belongs to everybody, and we work together. You know? And if somebody comes in just looking for that stuff, they tend to go away quickly, because it's not a good fit for them. So, and there are channels that do that, so we all can't do the same thing, and we chose to do it our own way. None of us are going to get rich off this, and joining a couple, look at us, we had 42 in February, and we have 1,540 now, and it's not like it's changed our life and we're retiring, so might as well make it a fun place if it's not going to make any money. Thank you guys for all the likes. I see some thumbs up when I was at the lights for a second here. Like I say, it's nothing too special, it's just a little drive out and about. If you are having your morning coffee or stuff and just wanting to see around, see a bit of Montreal. It's just, I did this a couple of weeks ago where with my Mazda Tribute, and ended up going to pick up Xenia at our hospital meeting downtown, our pain management clinic, and I blew the serpentine belt. So the car almost heated, had no battery, nothing. Well, I drained the battery getting back home, and I made it within a minute of our place. The fuel pump started sputtering, so literally it was with seconds to spare. This is the truck actually I'm going to be selling. Some of you know I inherited a house. I also inherited 2 vehicles. And this is a 2011 Ford Ranger that literally has 61,000 kilometers on it. He was my second cousin who passed away, and he died when he was 80 years old. So it's needless to say this truck hasn't been put through much. I can't keep it because A, it's too hard on gas for the city. B, it's not suitable for kids. It's those fold-down back seats, which is okay once in a while to go to the store or something, but it wouldn't make good for road trips. And I also got a 2010 Chevy Malibu with 125,000 kilometers, which belonged to his wife who had passed away of cancer. And that was easy driven as well. And I have my Mazda Tribute that I bought in 2005 myself. And I just didn't want to let go of it. It has 345,000 original kilometers, all put on by me. But it is showing its age, and as much as it hurts me, because it was the first vehicle I ever bought new. And it's been in every province in Canada except for Newfoundland, at least once. I've been through, I don't know, 7 or 9 states, I guess, as well. So this is the connection to the number 20 highway. Right now we're heading the opposite direction of the city, but we're going to go this way for a minute. This is heading out towards the airport. I think I'm going to go into the Montreal airport, turn around there and come back in. You guys get to see a little bit of the city as well. People drive fast here, like you can see it's a 70-kilometer zone, and usually you'll get people doing 110 in here, even though it's proximate to the city. A lot of people in Montreal like to drive, they get very wound up, especially during this Formula 1 will be coming here in a few weeks. And you're going to see like all the Ferraris and everything out, but you'll get every kid in a Honda Civic going nuts on the road as well. If anybody's seen my train videos, I haven't showed so many around Montreal. That's where I got a ton of footage I've never posted. This is actually where my son and I do some of our filming, because the railway's running right on the right here. You see that greenery? Well, right in behind it is the railway tracks. And this is where the big CN yard is. Like I say, guys, I can't read the chat or anything because I'm driving, so I hope you guys are keeping yourselves entertained. That's another great thing about our channel, such great people in it. I don't have to sit there and babysit everybody. You guys are way more than capable. And you start by doing it with yourselves. And I do brag about that a lot. I think it gets another channel's nerves, but I don't care because I am proud of it. To me, that's like winning the lottery. I mean, we joke around, people have laughs, but it never goes too far. You see in some other channels. So, oh crap! We just missed one of the CN trains coming in. Would have been just another minute or two earlier. We would have caught them coming through. He's going in the yard. You might be able to see the top of some of the cars on your right. This is the exit we're going around this to the number 13 highway, which goes north of the city. So yeah, maybe we'll do that. The airport's only about 5 minutes away from here. We'll start at the airport and then go into downtown. If the construction isn't too bad. If the construction's a nightmare, yeah, lots of stacks. People don't realize, but this highway, basically from here, Montreal to Toronto, is the most heavily trucked highway in all of North America. More than anywhere, even in the United States, because of the connection between up here, our proximity to New York, Boston, and the St. Lawrence Seaway, Eastern Canada, Eastern United States, and then through Toronto down to Windsor, which of course connects to the Rust Belt down there, part of the Canadian Rust Belt and the U.S. Montreal is a very compact city, as you see. Especially when we turn around and go back down in the other way, you're going to see it's a lot like Boston. That's what we were saying to our amazing guests last night at Beer Draft Course, which was a fantastic stream. It was so much fun. You see a plane coming in right now. The distance, I don't know if you guys can see it. We're going to actually take the new exit they just built before the airport. Because there was a roundabout that you used to have to go through, and it was crazy. It's always plugged up. This new exit, we're going to go over top of the railway. Which, of course, the first two tracks on this side serve as CN, and the other two tracks right beside it serve for CP Rail. And we'll literally go into the airport. Let's just go take a aisle and turn around the arrivals. I wish I was on the plane today. Anybody who knows me by now knows that I love flying. And I love traveling. This is something I wish I could do a lot more, but as maybe some of you don't know, Canada is extremely, extremely expensive for phone use. Data costs a lot here, so I'm stuck on a legacy plan, but I get 3 gigs out of it for way cheaper than most other people get, so I don't want to let it go. I would like to have more gigs, but I don't really watch a lot of video or anything when I'm not at home, so. And you don't need a lot of data to check your analytics 10 times a day, so. And since we work out of home, it's not such a big issue. And here we're turning into the Montreal International Airport. They built one years ago up in Mirabel. It was about 50 kilometers out with this dream. Oh, there's a plane coming in, a twin. Oh, you guys won't get to see it, I don't think. Right over our heads. And this was going to be a domestic airport, and then the international one up there, but it was ridiculous because they never built no high-speed rail or nothing to connect it. So that died off, and it became a usual Quebec white elephant. But here we are, Montreal, so we'll go up to by the departs, I guess. Tends to be less plugged up than the arrivals. Especially this time of morning. You can see all the new cabs on the right. It's a new initiative by Montreal. They all have bonjour on the side of them. They're painted. The dress code is being enforced now on them and stuff. And it looks good. It's good for the city. I gotta get one of the guys in the chat, WJ Auto Works. He's gonna do my brakes for me. We've been good friends for years, and he's like a little brother to me. Now, Quebec is the only province in Canada that never signed the Charter of Rights, so there's only really one official language in Quebec, and it's French for work or anything. But if these are all federal bodies, so that's why you see bilingual in all the signs. And it is getting better in Quebec. Like, separation is at an all-time low. The young people get it, and it was thanks to the internet that pretty much did it. It opened up the world to a lot of them, because years ago I grew up in a small town in Quebec. And the Catholic Church, and I am Catholic, so I'm not picking on anybody. They kind of had an unwritten deal with the separation government that they both worked together to make French people feel like if they learned any English and left, they'd never be wanted in the rest of the world. And painted this bleak picture how important they had to do it and have lots of kids, and they had to only speak French, or they'd be controlled and blah blah blah. But the internet broke that whole rule because everybody jumped on it, and not by my want, just English has become pretty much the universal language for the internet. I mean, it's mostly because of the States, and it's not that they did anything wrong either. It was just the majority that people were targeting towards. So that really made a big change here. So things are starting to get more laxed. We're not freaking out. Because we had language police. We still have them, but they don't hear them so often anymore. Because we have laws like if you, in Quebec, a town can only use bilingual if the population is more than 50%. And anything that's bilingual, they got to make sure that the French is more predominant. So, for instance, bold and twice the size of the English, and they come in with rulers and measure it. If you're a business in Quebec, you can't receive any of your paperwork pretty much in English from the provincial side. So even if you dial to call for help from Revenue Quebec, as soon as you select business, sorry, get in my other lane here. You have to. There's no option 9 for English or nothing. That was the Montreal airport. Now we're going to see about heading downtown. As long as it's not too much the entrance is barred off, we can get in. We'll maybe take a spin around Old Montreal or something. I had kind of, anybody who watched our chat last night, I had a little bit of a headache this morning when that passed. We had such a great time with them. I don't drink. I used to, and then the last year and a half of my first marriage, I started drinking more. I mean, not every day or anything, but so after that was done, I just kind of backed off for a while more out to take a break. Now weed's become legal here all across Canada in the next month or two, but I don't really do it anymore. I'm not against it or anything. It doesn't bother me. Kind of my only vice now is coffee, I guess. So. We'll watch on our left on the way down. Maybe we'll see another CN train or CP rail taking off. CP usually doesn't take off this early in the morning, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. I hope you guys in the chat are doing well. Like I said, it's not very safe for me to be reading it or watching the phone while I'm driving, so I hope everybody's doing well. I'm sure there's nobody causing problems in there. I'm not worried about that. And you guys are good at politely asking them to stop if they do. The wind noise isn't too bad for you guys. Just nice because yesterday was so humid. We say we get very cold winters, but we also get very hot summers comparable like to Miami. Same kind of humidity and everything, so it's definitely the land of extremes. First time I've ever streamed on a Sunday morning of any type. And like I say, with data so expensive, I don't do this kind of stuff very often, so it's always good to find a couple of moments to connect with you guys, even though I can't talk right now. It's just nice to know you guys are there, and I hope you are doing really well. Hoping the rain would hold off, but I'm not too sure anymore. So we're getting close to the downtown part. Basically, we're going to start seeing more of the interchanges. Montreal's a very compact city, so it's like, I mean, this is all pretty much suburbs here. Invented technology, we can put the phone or camera on it and it would swivel with our head, so then I could show you guys stuff as I'm looking at it. Maybe they have it already, who knows? morning, because like I say, I'm not even sure what exits are open. I might not even be able to reach downtown this way, even though it's the main core. Because a lot of it's shut down for the weekends where they're tearing out the old Turcot interchange. They painted this blue last year. As you notice all the way down, you're seeing a lot of blue. It's to symbolize the St. Lawrence Seaway that connects the Atlantic Ocean and comes through here and then heads up to Lake Ontario. Because Montreal itself is an island city. I hope I don't mess this up more for you. I think eventually they're tearing down this overpass here too, but I'm not sure for the moment. This is the connect to the Mercier Bridge, which takes to the South Shore. Over there is the Whiskey Trench, like we were talking about last night, where Seagram's was started. And thanks to U.S. Prohibition, made them the richest bottling company in the world. Where this Canadian Club is made in all those drinks. But it's not a Canadian company anymore. It was sold off after 4 generations. By one relative who threw all the money away on trying to get involved in producing movies for Hollywood. And the legacy was gone. So this is all new construction here. We'll see downtown any minute now. We're going to come up over the Angrion exit. All the new construction. Step over this overpass. We're already past something. The highway's a bit hard to see. If you look to your left side, you're going to see the new parts of the highway that's coming in. Everything's going to be much lower. All this stuff will be gone. This is one of the last higher parts. The big high ones you'll see in front of us just after we get to the bottom here. A lot of them have been demolished already. And then you'll see downtown. I think we got ourselves into a real mess, which was what I was hoping to avoid. But I should have went by the north side really and then come down. Thinking of it now, but I guess hindsight is 20. Oh, this is not good. This is not good at all. Guys, I'm sorry about that. My phone thing came loose. So just bear with me. I'm going to come to a stop in a second and then I'll fix it. Because I had my phone turned sideways because I hate looking at vertical views. And so I wouldn't do that to you guys. So let me try to fix this. I'm putting it down for a sec. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about this. And now at the next stop, I'll fix it. Thank you for your patience. Like I say, I'm not exactly set up for this, so it's kind of an experiment at best. Thank God we're at a stop, or I would just have to shut everything off. I feel bad for you guys. I hope you're not getting seasick. Or motion sickness, whatever you call it. This couldn't have happened at a worse time. There. Let's hope that fixes it. Sorry about that, guys. But driving comes first, so I can't just... Now I got it merged, so thank God we got it fixed when we did. And I'm not even sure if I can get into downtown or not, so this traffic should go pretty quickly here. I'm just going to turn this phone up a little bit more. Maybe I can... Last chance of coming out. Oh, the joys of a city under construction. And this has been 2.5 years now, I think it is. I think you can look ahead to the left. You'll see the top of Montreal, the city, the skyscrapers and that. Oh, wait, I just read one. I seen one. Somebody wrote, I couldn't see who, about losing my lane changing signal. I did. It was on. I'm not like that. I see enough of that here, and it drives me out of my mind that people can't use their signal. No. Oh, it's Windy City. Okay, I see it pop up, Windy City. I should have known. Oh my God. Now I can see a little bit of your chat as we're just passing through. I can't read it very well, but I get little bits. But you gotta have your seatbelt on, Windy City. Even when we're doing this, tie yourself to your chair, whatever you're sitting on, to the couch. So it looks right now at this point, we might be able to get into downtown through one lane, but I think what they're doing is they're tearing down one of the big exits. See, you can't hear it. I got it on right now. I can't leave it on too long, or then I'm going to shock somebody, because they probably, most of them here don't even know what it is that I just turned on, so. Follow your booster seat. Well, I'll tell you what, we're almost at the entrance. If we can't get into downtown, maybe we'll circle down and go by the new bridge they're building across the St. Lawrence River. Go that way. And then I can come back in, and then you can see the city. I can loop around down there somewhere. It's supposed to take 4 years for all this construction. There was a big... People don't realize it, but Montreal is kind of funny in that way. It's like the other eastern cities. We've gone through a big corruption scandal where the mafia was connected to construction here, and they had a big inquest and stuff. So I think this time they're trying to do it on schedule, on budget, because they've taken enough knocks over the last couple of years. People just had enough. Same as in the 90s. You know, everything's Canada, all peaceful, nothing goes on. We had a huge problem with the Hells Angels and the Rock Machine. We're at a war when the Hells Angels were pretty much gone and dealt with in the States. And there was bombings all the time, especially on the South Shore where this bridge connects to. And it didn't really get under control until a little boy got killed, unfortunately, with a car bomb that went off. And then that's when all hell broke loose. And they busted so many people that they had to build a new place just to do the trials, to be able to handle it for the kind of security they needed. It just shows you there's problems everywhere you go. Nothing's perfect. There's homeless people here like anywhere else. There's issues like anywhere else. So here's the old overpass, what's left of it, and this will be gone by probably next year, the rest of it. Ooh, I see a fire truck up ahead, heading on to the number 10, so that's not a good sign. We might not even make it to the bridge either. When I get to the top of this entrance ramp, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but you'll get a bird's eye view of downtown. I wish Bottlecast was here this morning, unless he's there and I haven't seen him, because like I said, I can't look very much, because he likes these tours of the city. My wheel is squeaking a bit because, like I said, I inherited this. If anybody knew, it's a 2011 Ford Ranger that only has 61,000 kilometers on it, and I got to do the brakes on it now. The discs just mostly from not being used very much, so I got to do the discs and the back brakes before I sell it. Many of you have seen on our chat, WJ Auto Works. He'll be helping me. One of my good friends and present mechanics. I wish I could just angle the car a little bit better. I want to see here. Maybe you'll get a quick glimpse of downtown, but I can't promise anything. But there's an ambulance just went by and a fire truck just up ahead, so I'm assuming. I'm just turning out this way. If you guys can see downtown just ahead of you. The tops of the buildings. It's basically right there. But boys, did I ever get bad luck for Sunday morning on this road. What can you do, right? You gotta roll with the punches. Like I said, if I hadn't known this, but yeah, too, I would have been blocked on the other side. Because they do most of the demolition on the weekend and at nights, because then they gotta blow out all these pieces there that are hanging over the new parts where they're roading people, so a lot has been gone already. It shouldn't have been so busy going to the bridge, but yeah, the accident part explains what's going on, so. Montreal is a congested-based city, especially with all the construction going on. And right there beside us is the old entrance, which is now like a 90-foot drop-off, which is 2 cement pillars. But if somebody was to hit it fast enough, but thank God it's going the opposite way of traffic. Where's the amount? Oh, Happy Meal, sure, you got it. One Happy Meal coming up. Happy Meals for everybody. Are we there yet? I don't know, because we don't have a place, we don't have any plans where to go, so it's pretty hard to describe there. If I had known traffic was going to be so bad here this morning, I think I would have just continued out across the western part of the city. Chicken McNuggets, you got it. Teeth-Rog, are we there yet? I don't know. You tell me. Oh yeah, I answered that already. Like I said, guys, sorry I can't read it too much while driving. I don't. You gotta be safe. This is actually the video I made. She brought the 80s back to Montreal with my niece. This is part of the road, and the other part that I filmed is gone now. Just thinking that. This is crazy this morning. It's Sunday morning. Well, Sunday noon, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But like I said, I just seen an ambulance and a fire truck going through, so you pretty much know what that adds up to. And the worst part is probably somebody standing there looking all clueless with a fender bender that could have easily been just taken off the next exit. Which happens most of the time. I hope you guys are doing well. And like I said, I know it's not the most exciting run, but I just thought I'd take advantage of the time while out. Now I'm left with a bit of a conundrum here. Is it blocked ahead and people are getting off here? onto this exit, or did it happen on the exit and everybody's trying now to go straight, which means it will go faster? And I'm not quite sure what to do. I'm going to try it, and then as always, I'll probably pick the wrong one. Go ahead. Go ahead. That car is one ugly ass color. Ram off the road. No, I don't want to do that because I want to sell this thing. I actually got to try and clean it today if the rain holds off because I want to get the pictures and get it up. There's no mileage on it, so it should move pretty quickly. And I brought it to the city because cities trucks sell better here. Like you see, you have a guy that's rolling right beside me here. I don't know where he's planning to go. You guys can't see him. But that's typical Montreal. They like inventing their own paths. Try leaving the wipers off for a few minutes. Next time I do this, I'm getting up at like 5 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday or Sunday and doing this. Catch the sunrise. I'm going to do something here quickly while we're stopped that I shouldn't do. I'm going to do quickly, just so you guys can see it. There's downtown. Which I wanted to take us to, but as you can see, there's no entry into it. So, plan B. And it looks like this is going to be the story for most of the way. I hope everybody's doing well. Like I said, I can't really read the chat too much. But no, I'm happy to have you guys here. It's nothing special. I was out this morning, wanted to pass by downtown so you could see some of the sights. But as the construction goes, all the exits were blocked to get into downtown. Everything's being rerouted this way. And I see where the accident is. So I gotta get my next lane because eventually I'm gonna have to anyways. And then after that, looks like traffic's going to open up pretty good, so we're not too far away. So maybe it'll actually work in our favor because it's spreading out the traffic more. There. And you got to make your own paths around here. I seen somebody wrote a lot of Japanese cars. That's what's funny. Like anybody who knows a bit about vehicles, I bought my 2005 Mazda Tribute when I bought it. Is basically a Ford Escape with a different body. My keys say Ford Motor Company. But when I bought it, I went with Mazda, A, because they had a great financing rate. It was 0% for 60 months. And on top of that, because it was the Japanese brand, Mazda instead of the Ford, it had a higher resale value here. But when we moved to Saskatchewan, which is more the Bible Belt and all that, and there was only 2 Mazda dealers in the whole province, one in Regina, one in Saskatoon. It actually drove down the value, where if I had the Escape, it would have been worth more. We're almost out of the traffic, I think. Like I say, I can see the ambulance and fire truck up ahead. It looks like the ambulance is already leaving. That's a good sign. Don't want nobody to be hurt or anything. If anybody can write, how is the quality of the video? Does it look okay, or it's hard for me to judge? So, and I can't really. I wish I could tilt it up more so you could see, but you mostly just see sky, anyways. But a little less of the hood. But then I'm worried the phone's gonna fall out. I put it sideways because it drives me crazy looking at video, and I know it's the way of today, holding it up vertically, but it really drives me crazy. So. Oh, I hear cops coming behind us, I believe. And I will move over to the south. Oh, okay. Come on, guys. Let's all move here. That's not the police. That's the QPP. There's only Quebec and Ontario that have provincial police as well. The rest all pay the RCMPs to do that for them. RCMPs in Quebec and Ontario only handle, well, parts of Ontario I think they're still more active, but in Quebec they only handle federal matters. It drives me crazy when you see like a cop coming or ambulance and everybody just sits in the middle. Go off for a few minutes. Oh, sorry. Oh. Yeah, I know. I look beside though and they seem to be okay, more precautionary, so the car doesn't look in too bad of damage, so let's just hope that nobody is hurt. My phone is heating, guys, because we were stopped. I don't know. It might shut off in the heat. If it does and I go away, I apologize. But I unplugged it from the charger for a little bit, so let's hope. So much construction all the way down through here onto the new bridge. I hope you'll be able to see it being built because it's on the going to be on the left side when we get to it here in about, I don't know, 3 minutes or so. We'll see. I'll try and get a left lane. So that's why these roads are so windy right now, because they're all temporary roads where they're building the new ones. And they're very rough, as per usual. Yeah, let's go downtown by this way. Well, never mind the bridge. Get to see more this way, I think. Now, unless my luck is going the way it is today with everything else, and the number 10 is all blocked up, this is also the way people get to the Montreal Casino. Wow, everybody waited for once. This is a first. Oh, I spoke too soon. Oh well. I guess we will continue this way. See how they just changed that exit in 2 days? Now you're supposed to go to the other side one. I did not know that. Oh well. We'll just come right back on here then. Literally things are changing here by the day, so it's very, very hard to keep up. This is the construction for the new bridge they're building. We're coming up to. This is all the entrance to it. I'll try and take this left lane. Maybe you'll be able to see a little bit more, but it's going to be hard. This bridge is going to be unused as of right now. The plan is December 21st. When the new one, you can see a bit beside us. I don't know how much. You can see the tower at the end. That's going to take over. And right now we're crossing the St. Lawrence Seaway. This is the gateway to your right is to Lake Ontario, and to your left would be the gateway to the Atlantic Ocean. About, I don't know, 600 kilometers away, I guess. So the Montreal port is the longest, the largest inland port in the world, if I'm not mistaken. Where large container ships do come in constantly, shipped into here and then trained from here, trucked to the United States. Because from here, once you cross this bridge, you're literally, what, 35 minutes from New York State, I guess? 40 minutes, somewhere around there. As you can see, the sign right here is already indicated for New York for the exit. I eventually want to come up with something that has multiple cameras and be able to show from different sides. I can have Xenia with just a click, like, you know, like that. Then again, if she's in the truck, I guess we could just kind of come up with some sort of swivel and turn it manually. I don't know. There'd be something like that out already. This is what they call the South Shore, because Montreal is an island divided by the St. Lawrence River, St. Lawrence Seaway, whatever you want to call it. By here it's all fresh water, but there is saline amount all the way to pretty much Quebec City. They can get whales. And on the upper side is the other river, which is basically a branch of it. So there's two large islands. If you ever look at the map, there's Montreal, and above it is the island of Laval. There's a view of the bridge we were just on. Oh dear God, how is this possible? What is going on? How can there be traffic here this time of day? Well, I guess we'll go back up around the other side. This is crazy. And it's hard because my phone, of course, is doing this, so I can't use it as a GPS, which would guide me around a lot of the traffic. video I made, that Montreal slow-mo one, where I recorded everything 120 frames and it's better to play with the timings. That was all filmed in this, a lot of it was filmed in this bridge here. So you might be able to see the new bridge this time. More. Right here you can see it going up. I wanted to go over and by the Jean Cartier Bridge, but it looked like the traffic was crazy. So what can you do, right? But we'll see if we can get on the number 10 here, and then the last. Well, thank you guys for driving around with me. Try and tilt this, just holding it in my hand for a second. You can see a bit of downtown and the new bridge. I'm sorry guys, I see his popping stuff up. I just in the corner of my eye, I think I caught Andrew, but I can't really read too much right now. I wish I could. I'll definitely go back and look at the comments after. And once again, if there's anybody new in, please subscribe, leave a comment as well, so I can go check you out when I get home after. My coffee sloshed on me a little bit, so I actually got 2 drops in my glasses. So that's always fun. That makes for a fun ride. See, this bridge is federal, so that's why the QPP, Quebec Provincial Police, were on this, even though they're provincial, they're contracted by the federal government to monitor this special road right here. That's the only reason why they have a presence in this area. Okay, exit 58. Let's hope. Let's hope this one works. If it does, this is one of my favorite drives into Montreal. Is this place? People don't realize it, but a lot of the movies, the big budget movies that you see, are filmed here. Because Montreal is used a lot of times to replicate Boston, New York, Philadelphia, because they can do it at a cheaper rate because of the dollar exchange. So right in front of us here, you'll see a sign that says Mills. It's this huge studio. They can handle budgets up to $50 million. Oh. I had to pull over where it's safe. But if this falls again, guys, I'm going to shut it down, okay? Because I don't want anybody to get hurt. Including myself. There we go. Just luckily it was at a place where I could kind of get off where it was okay. So we're going to be coming into downtown unless barring any other road detours I'm not aware of. There's a girder bridge in front of us. That's the Victoria Bridge, named after Queen Victoria, and it's owned by CN Railways. And cars go on the side and the railway in the middle, so there's inbound and outbound on each side of it. Interesting fact that I didn't know until this year. CN was a Crown corporation, but when they made it public, the majority of the shares were bought and they're still owned by Bill Gates. This is, in my opinion, the most, I don't want to say it in case there's another road closure, but I don't think there is. This, in my opinion, is one of the most iconic entrances into Montreal. Right after this turn here, the city will appear. You see the 5 roses sign. It should be about close to the end of your screen. Been there for over 100 years. It's protected. I get rerouted, just be able to have options. And there's downtown. A better view. But like I said, guys, if the phone comes off again, I'm just going to shut it down because my holder's not really made for it, and I don't know, I don't want to do that to you guys. That vertical view I find is such garbage. You can't see anything. That's the, even though I know the phone's not perfectly straight. Well, there you go. Place Bonaventure, you can see the train station. That's Central Station going in there. You can see the railway entrance, electric, as well as for diesel. That's where all the city and via rail passenger trains come in. Amtrak as well, connecting New York. I don't know if it does anywhere else besides New York. That entrance we just passed was to the underground 720 highway that goes along the city. I hope you guys are all doing well. I feel like I'm neglecting you guys, so I hope you guys are entertaining yourselves. You got Steve-O and you got Donnie showing their nuts, so I'm sure you got no shortage of entertainment. This is kind of like the halfway point for downtown. It's all part of the financial district here. That's rough. As you can notice, none of the lane lines line up between block to block. Another great part of Montreal. Jeez, I just seen that now. Donnie, you're crazy. Montrealers don't have a lot of patience for dragging around after the light turns green, so always make sure if you're here that you're ready to go. It does switch. I'm trying to go slower here because the road is so rough. Ah! I don't want to knock the phone off. Oh crap, I gotta go over quickly. Yeah, this way here, I'm just gonna sneak. That's what's not coming. This is Rainy Levesque. This is the big boulevard. Just to the left or right from here, I think left. You can't see it, but it's the Queen Elizabeth Hotel, and that's where John Lennon had his famous sit-in, where he did recorded "Give Peace a Chance." Even though I'm not a huge Beatles fan, it still is a big part of the city's heritage. That's when he wasn't allowed in the States. That's why it happened here. Don, he said something about the Beatles. I couldn't see it. Sorry. But yeah, you're not far from them. This is their beginning, so I'm sure there's a lot of connections. So now we're going to be turning on at the next street. We're going to go on to St. Catharines, which is the main street in Montreal. This is the downtown core, which is usually blocked off a lot. So there's festivals here all summer, and the Just for Laughs festival is a Montreal festival, and that'll be starting soon, and that's where you have all the big galas and everything else will be going on here. Also, the Montreal Jazz Festival is the biggest jazz festival in the world. The city shut off for almost 2 months, and it's just one festival after another. That's why it's called the City of Festivals. I wish I could have taken you back further, but they got so much of the city blocked off. It's mostly walking here in the summer. You can't even see all the strip clubs. This is more of the older part. As you can see, the roads are absolutely atrocious for a downtown core, but there's going to be a 4-year project. They're redoing everything here. So it is going to change a lot. But in usual Montreal fashion, it's going to take a ton of time. The hard part is because of the extreme cold winter, it makes it hard to do construction all year round. So that is a problem. Can we just go to the strip club? Oh my God, it's been years since I've been to one. We were just talking about that last night with craft beer pours. Because here it is. That's what Xavier was shocked about. There's one right in front of us. Yeah, just to the left. If you look at that vertical sign. I don't know if there still is much, but I know at one point there was 350 strip clubs here. And They used to say there was an equal amount of strip clubs to Catholic churches. We'll go down one more and see if we can get out, but I don't know if we can or not. Because this is where they'll block off for the festivals. Yeah, I think it's already shut off to people, yeah. So straight ahead, this is where the Just for Laughs festival is out on this street. They have a huge stage they'll be set up all summer. The jazz festivals, all that stuff will go on right there. Yeah, those trucks, see, they're setting up all the electricity and all that. They got all their generators start getting going. So there's free outdoor concerts plus indoor ones as well. It's a really cool city. It is the closest you'll ever get to North America, to Europe without leaving North American soil. And most, especially Eastern Canada, but I mean that's Canada in general. Canada is kind of a mix of Europe and the United States. We're always kind of that middle ground all the time, and almost every subject, whether political or social, we always tend to be in the middle. And a lot of bands have played here because this was kind of the opening grounds to the States, especially bands from Europe. This was the testing ground. If they did well here, they could end up in the States. And yeah, a lot of famous Montrealers from here: Leonard Cohen, William Shatner, even a lot of bands. You know the song Safety Dance? We can dance if we want to. That was all like, it was kind of ahead of its time a lot. Even Ontario and that had a lot of bands in BC, you know. I mean, North American cities, I mean, even though this is one of the older ones in North America, still, they were all built kind of relatively the same. So it's time. So it's not as varied as you would get in Europe traveling around from city to city. The lifestyle here is a way more liberal, especially in Quebec. Like, you seen the beer I was drinking last night, that moudit. Like, that's an actual swear word. And if you listen to French radio, there's more swearing. If you watch French TV, there's more nudity. It's even the English channels in Canada would show more than the American broadcasters, but not as much as some of the European ones. So once again, kind of in the middle. Trying to remember if you can go down the next street or not. I might have to go this way. This is too bad because I'll take you down into Chinatown. But this is the entrance into Old Montreal. And like you see, like this is the end of Chinatown. You can see like one building here. We're like 2, 3 blocks away. And as usual, tons of traffic and more traffic and more traffic. I've seen somebody asking about editing issues. I can't really read much because I'm driving. We do our Tech Talk Tuesday, and love discussing that kind of stuff. So I don't know if we can help you. We're okay at it, some better than us. There's lots of people that we can work with in the chat. So if you have questions about that, please bring it with you on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's exactly what we love to talk about then. So sorry, I'm driving right now, so I can't look at anything really, but. I've seen some. It was oh, Donnie, it's strip club. Okay, it just popped up. You do have strip club. I figured so. You see, here it's like the states. You know, every province is different. Where I lived in Saskatchewan, I think there's only one in the whole province. The guys were telling me about, and supposedly it's only topless and it's non-alcoholic. So you have to leave the bar and there's this like walkway to go into the next spot, and this girl dances like down just to like no top, and you're not allowed to have any alcohol, so they're sitting there with a glass of orange juice in their hands. Montreal, it is very graphic. It's a lot. You can not only have like girl on girl shows, but you can have girl on girl booths and stuff like that. With lap dances, of course. The touching is controlled, and rightfully so. Yeah. Oh, Remy Moore. Oh, just see your name pop up. Welcome. Good to have you here. Nothing special going on. Just kind of doing a drive through Montreal. Mm. Montreal sounds like the U.S. strip clubs. Yeah, and I think with the states too, it depends on the state, right? See, here we get a lot of people, a lot of American kids come out because we're close to the U.S., the New York State border, and it's only 18 to drink in Quebec. The rest of Canada is 19. So a lot come up here and they go pretty party hardy, and you can see about 2 hours later, if you walk by, you would see some of them getting tossed out because they're trying to make the most of the weekend. And they get a little friendly with the girls, and too friendly, I guess. And yeah. If I can turn up the next street, because guys, I don't come down here much anymore. Yeah, I can. We're gonna come up to the Notre Dame Basilica, and that's where they have all the state funerals and that, and weddings. This is gonna be where, if you've watched Celine Dion, you're gonna see this is where she got married. And just down from us here is the Molson Brewery we were talking about last night, which is the oldest running brewery in North America. I think since the 1700s or something like that. Nightshade. Sorry, I'm driving, so I can't talk much, but I'm at a light here seeing your name. How are you doing, buddy? Because I'm definitely going to go back and look at the chat after. You were a trooper. Did you make the 24 hours? It must be cool here today. In Celsius-wise, yeah, it's a cooler day today. We just had a hot one yesterday. Because that's what we were saying. Like, people don't realize, but Montreal is a city of extremes. And in sorry, this is in Celsius, but we get the minus 40s in the winter, but we also get the plus 40s in the summer. And it's very humid here, so our temperatures are about the same as what they get in Miami in the summer. But in the wintertime, it's the complete polar opposite. No, pun intended. So there's Notre, as soon as I make the turn here, right up in front of us, that's Notre Dame Basilica, and that's where Celine Dion was married. And when Trudeau, our prime minister, his father, when he died, because he was a prime minister as well when he died, that was the famous one where we had Bush here plus, oh my God almighty, Fidel Castro was here because he was a friend of the Trudeau family and that. That airport, the Montreal airport that we drove by a while ago, that's why it's called the Pierre Elliott Trudeau, and a lot of people were angry about that because he was the one who tried that opened the one in Mirabel that was supposed to be an international airport and almost killed off that one, so people don't quite understand why they named it after him, including me, but no use to gripe about it. This building right in front of us is one of the first skyscrapers that was ever built. So there you can see the Basilica better now. It's absolutely beautiful. And if you look up Montreal Basilica, you'll see the inside of it. And you can see the lineup of people coming in. Of course, everything here is cobblestone in the old part of the city. So I'm hoping it doesn't shake the phone off. Montreal started off as a fur trading town because of its proximity to the St. Lawrence River and the Lachine Rapids. They couldn't go any further, so they had to portage the boats up past there, so that's why it got established in... God, I'm awful at doing this stuff. Xenia knows more about this city than I do. Like that building I just showed you, that skyscraper, I'm just looking on the side, it was erected in 1888. That's why it was one of the first skyscrapers. Do not want to run lights here. And you shouldn't run them anywhere, but especially here. So we're just going to try and get past this part, and I'll probably soon shut off, but we'll go down just below. Something happened. The cops are there. There is a big problem with, when anything else where you have tourist places, it's probably, could be a pickpocketing thing or something. No worse than any other city, but no better either. I wish I could turn the camera more. I could show you guys some of the buildings that are here. Sorry guys, I'm just really paying attention here. As you see, people don't really pay much attention to the roads itself. So you gotta drive for everybody walking. Montreal is very cocky for jaywalkers, like the worst. Many comedians that come for the Just for Laughs festival, that usually ends up in their routine unplanned because once they see what it's like here. Brazen is a complete understatement. I hope it's not shaking too much for you guys with the cobblestone. Almost off the cobblestone, guys. I would take you down through the side streets and stuff. There's some beautiful roads here, but maybe I can go up and around and come back down the other side. Everything in my way is... And this is the old port. So you'll see it when I make the turn here. It's right in front of you. Lots of greenery. See, really beautiful place. You can see the cloches, they call them in French, or the horse-drawn carriages. There's been talk of getting rid of them. I'm sorry, guys. I feel bad if you. I hope you don't feel like I'm ignoring you. It's just driving. I can't read the chat. And especially around here, people walking out and everything like that. See, like they just did. They see me coming and they still shot out. They're quite brazen. Quite brazen, to say the least. So you have this Champlain Bridge that we were on a while ago that comes in the city, and up in front of us you can see a little piece of it. That's the Jean Cartier. And it's basically the two that Canada fights over who discovered Canada. So it depends if you want to go with the English or the French. In a nutshell. Let me see if I can go up here anywhere. I'll go back through one of the streets and then I'll pretty much end it. I'm terrified to see how much data this is using. Something tells me I'm going to have to buy another gig. I got 3. It won't go through that, but it will definitely eat into it. If it wasn't so bad, I would do this like pretty much when we come down to Montreal and I think we continue for doctor's appointments and such. Yeah, see the building right in front of us. This is celebrating Montreal, this part here, since 1655. Well, it's better off to let people go through than them stop in front of you. I'd cut you off, what you know is going to happen, so. Yeah, I think I'm going to turn up this way, yes. Montreal is a great city to have your Google Maps working. I'm not using it right now, so because even if you're not here, unless you're on a daily basis, and even then, it kind of. Thank you. This guy was such a gentleman. That's a rarity. See, this is part of the old stone bridge. A couple of times. Just trying to think of a way that I can get back in. Let's see. Is this road? Shot the miles. I don't know if it's a one-way or not. Yep. I mean, I know it's a one-way. I don't know. Same as parking here is one of those places that's super confusing because it's got 18 different times on every parking place. And some need permits and some don't. Definitely make sure to read all the signs when you're here. And we're going to be back on cobblestone for a little bit, but at least you guys will get to see a bit more of the old Montreal. I'm sorry about the squeaking. Like I say, I got to get those brakes done, but I just brought the vehicle up and had a chance to. That guy had an interesting hairdo, to say the least. And here's a real glimpse into old Montreal. Oh, they shut this down. It's all walking too. Oh, that's great. We're gonna go. There you go. Get a little glimpse. I'm not gonna go back down that way. I'll go up this way. It is very clean, Donnie. That's one thing Canada is, and Quebec is probably was one of the more dirtier provinces. I gotta say, it has picked up its game a lot. Because littering used to be a real problem here. But like I know in Ontario and those places, like littering can come, especially even on highways, comes with a charge sometimes of $1,000, which is about what, $750 US. They do not play around with it, and I'm glad. There's no reason for it. There's no need for littering. I'm not some health nut, but I mean just, like I'm not trying to get all greenery on everything, but there's no need for it. Holy God, we've been on for an hour and a half. It's crazy. Edinburgh is an amazing city. I loved it. I had such a great time there. It's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. I don't know what's going on here, but there's a great lineup for it, whatever it is. Oh, that's some historical thing. Okay. Must be a big draw. There's a line all the way down to here. It's the Montreal City Hall on the right. building too. So there's old Montreal, guys. So guys, I think I'm going to end it now. This has been really cool. Thanks for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it, because I'm going to probably go down and leave and go out by the tunnel because it's faster, and I'll definitely lose signal in there anyways, I'm sure. So thank you so much. I'll come back and watch it after. You guys have been such a pleasure. And I really hope you guys take care of yourselves. So we're going to watch because everybody's pulling out here. You're getting a feel for what it's like to drive Montreal. Oh, here, I'll leave it on for a second, go up by... You see there's Chinatown right in front of us. There's the entrance to it, from the lower side. And this Old Mission Brewery right on the left here, that was the first brewery, the very, very first one. And then it was donated, now it's a mission for homeless people. Anyways, guys, you take care. Have an amazing day. Love yous all. Cheers and keep creating. We're on the Corn Life Network tonight at, I think, 7 p.m. our time. Thanks for hanging out with me. Sorry I'm not the best tour guide in the world, but I just thought it'd be neat to kind of try this. So you guys take care and really be well. And we'll see you soon. Cheers now. Bye.